Yes, ma'am.
All right. So let's begin. This is the new chapter, that is Europe. We have already done Africa in the previous class. We have covered most of the important topics about Africa, and we had that chapter even for the exams. Now today we will start with Europe. As we learned about everything about Africa, let's study about Europe now. So introduction. Europe has been the source of several Western civilizations which have influenced the world significantly in various ways. It is the second smallest continent in the world, with Russia as the largest country. Please underline, this is very important. Europe is basically responsible for various Western civilizations. Okay, all right. And Europe is the second smallest continent in the world. Please underline, children. Europe is the second smallest continent in the world. All right. And in the world, with Russia as the largest country and Vatican City as the smallest. And which is the largest country?
Russia.
Which is the smallest country?
Vatican City.
You will get this for objective type of question. Please encircle Russia.
Ma'am, but isn't Russia in Asia also, ma'am?
Russia.
Ma'am, like Russia is half in Europe and half in Asia also, no?
Encircle Vatican City as well. Europe lies, now we'll see the location, where exactly Europe lies. It lies between 35° north and 73° north latitudes. Okay. And between which longitudes? Between 25° east and 65° east longitudes. So through this, we will exactly find out the location where exactly Europe is located. Please underline. You will definitely get a fill in the blank or based upon this. Europe lies in between latitudes.
35° north and 73° north.
And it lies between longitudes.
25° east, west, and 65° east.
Yes, 25°
East, west. East, west.
All right. Okay. Now, most of the continent lies in the northern temperate zone, with a small part that extends to the frigid zone beyond the Arctic Circle. The prime meridian passes through
Europe.
So it lies in which zone? Most part of Europe lies in which zone?
Northern temperate zone.
The remaining part is extended to which zone?
And the frigid zone beyond the Arctic Circle.
Which is beyond the Arctic Circle. And what passes through Europe?
Prime meridian.
Okay. Understood the location where Europe is located on the world map?
35° north and 73° north.
Yes.
25° east west and 65° east.
East. Okay, very good.
Ma'am,
Now
in the east.
we will see the boundaries of Europe. Okay, we will see what boundaries are there. As we know the boundaries of India, our country. Now let us study the boundaries of Europe. Europe is a peninsula to the west of the large landmass of Eurasia. Okay, it is bounded by land on the eastern side, but it has access to the sea on its western side. So what do Europe have on the eastern side?
Ma'am, land.
Towards the western side, what does it have?
Sea.
It has access to the sea. And the western, northern and southern regions. So the western, northern and southern regions, it has access to what?
Sea.
To the sea. And towards the eastern side, what does it has?
Land.
So it is clear. One side it is the boundary of land, and the other remaining three sides it is surrounded by sea.
Water.
All right. Now let's see which sea are they talking about. In the north, it is bounded by the Arctic Ocean. Please underline. Okay. Towards the north of Europe is the
Arctic Ocean.
Towards the west of Europe is the
Atlantic Ocean.
Atlantic Ocean.
And towards the south of Europe is the Mediterranean and the
Black Sea.
Okay, please make a note of it. You all can draw a diagram also while I'm explaining. Europe, north, which ocean is there?
Arctic Ocean.
Arctic Ocean.
West,
Atlantic Ocean.
Atlantic Ocean.
Mediterranean Sea and the Black Sea.
towards the east.
Land.
Land.
I thought maybe you will say some of the ocean now. All
No,
right.
ma'am.
So remember, towards the east it has land. It is separated from Asia by the low Ural mountains and the Ural river. Please underline how it is separated by Asia
Ma'am, low Ural Mountains and the Ural River.
and the Ural river. Okay. So it has mountains and the river which is separating it from Asia. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Marked everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, we will see what else is there. The Strait of Gibraltar separates Europe from Africa in the west. Okay. Now, see, as we know, India, we have Sri Lanka also.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and how is India and Sri Lanka separated? What is there?
Ma'am, there is a strait, ma'am, but I don't know the name of the
Which
strait.
strait?
Uh,
Which strait? Let's see who will give me the answer. Come on, quickly. Which strait is there which separates India and Sri Lanka? Find it out for tomorrow's class.
Okay,
okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So similarly, we have over here a straits which is separating Europe and Africa. Okay. And which is this strait which is separating Europe and Africa? It is called as
Gibraltar.
Strait of Gibraltar. Okay, please mark it. You will get lots of objective type questions in this. Very good. Who gave this? Park Strait. Very good, Joshua. Remember,
Arc Strait.
I mean, searched it on Google, ma'am.
whatever it is, he
Yes,
gave the
ma'am.
answer.
At
That's
least
more
he gave it.
Yes. So,
Answer is important.
very good, Joshua. Keep it up. So remember this. Now, as we have Sri Lanka separated with the, because of the Palk Strait, so Europe and Africa is separated with which strait?
Strait of Gibraltar.
Strait of Gibraltar.
Okay. Other than Eastern Europe, most of Europe has access to the sea, which is why the countries of Europe were foremost in exploration and conquests. Okay, so we all know that it is almost surrounded by sea from all three sides. Therefore, what had happened, because it is surrounded by sea from all the three sides, it had a chance of more exploring and conquesting different regions.
Ma'am, unlike Africa.
Yes, unlike Africa, why? Africa was what? What was Africa?
Ma'am, it had
It has a
high
straight,
mountains.
unbroken coastline, ma'am, which was not suitable for natural harbors.
Yes.
That's why it was
Yes.
the
Ma'am,
last.
that's why it made.
And there are many
It
reasons.
was
This way it was
undiscovered
not-
also. There are
Yes,
many
Undiscovered.
Ma'am, the Europeans
Many
only
reasons.
discovered Africa.
Ma'am, there was
right?
ma'am, the vast Sahara desert made it impossible to enter.
Yes. All right. So I hope you understood the boundaries of Europe, children.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now the political divisions. Europe has dash countries.
47.
47.
47
47.
countries.
7 countries spread out over the continent. Okay. In the entire continent, it has 47 countries. And these countries are different in size, they are different in population, based upon their location and common features. Can you please scroll down? Okay. Based on their location and based on the common features. All right. So, based upon their location, common features, some countries have been grouped together under a name. All right. So you just need to remember that because of different sizes, because of different populations, the countries have been divided into 47 countries. Let's see the table now. Okay, you have the group name, you have the countries, and you have the location. Okay, so based upon that, all these group names you need to remember. You need to by heart the countries, okay, and the location. Where are these countries located? Among all this, the Balkan state is very important. The Baltic state is important. Mediterranean countries. Okay, let me ask you all. Which are the Mediterranean countries?
Spain and
Spain.
Portugal.
Spain and Portugal.
In Portugal.
What is the location?
Iberian
Iberian Peninsula.
Peninsula.
Okay. Which are the Baltic states?
Estonia,
Latvia,
Lithuania.
And where is it located?
Along the
Along the
Baltic.
Baltic Sea.
Along the
Baltic Sea.
Sea. All right. Let's scroll down. Let's see what's there next. The physical features. Children, you need to by heart the table given as it is for objective type of questions. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Now we will study about the physical features. So Europe can be divided into the following divisions. Number one is the northern mountains. Okay. Now let's see what are the physical divisions of Europe. So number one out of that is the northern mountains, which is also called as northern highlands.
Islands.
Okay. The northern part of Europe has old fold mountains. Please underline this. Which part of Europe has old fold mountains?
Northern part.
The northern part.
Or you might get in the other way around. Excuse me. The northern part of Europe has which mountains?
Old Fold Mountain.
Old Fold Mountains.
Okay, which are low with gentle slopes. So these mountains are low and it has gentle slopes. These mountains were made of hard crystalline rocks which have been weathered and eroded by glaciers over millions of years. Narrow inlets of seawater between steep high cliffs called fjords or fjords are found in this area, especially where in Norway. These have been caused by the action of melting glaciers. These fjords create an indented or broken coastline. Okay, so basically this particular mountains, okay, these mountains, the old fold mountains, they are made up of which type of rocks, children?
Ma'am, hard crystalline rock.
Hard crystalline rock.
And it has why hard crystalline rocks?
Ma'am, because they have been weathered and eroded by glaciers over millions of years.
And apart from that, what about the, give me a second. All right. Okay. Narrow inlets of seawater between the steep high cliffs. What are they called as?
Fjords.
Okay. F is silent over there. Okay. Or you can, it is also called as fjords. Now, this is specially found in which area?
Norway.
Norway. Okay. And how is this formed? Because of what? Because of the
Ma'am, action of melting glaciers.
melting of the glaciers. Okay. And what does this fjords do? They create an broken coastline. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you all understood the northern?
Yes.
The first point, northern highlands.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's go on to the next topic. That is the Great European Plain, which is also called as Central European Plains. Please remember both the names. Okay, just in your exams, just to manipulate the question, they might not use the first name. They might use the second name. All right. So that children won't understand, but make sure that you all by heart both the names, so that if the question is twisted, you know what exactly the answer they are expecting. Clear? Now, these vast plains lie to the south of the northern mountains and extend from the Atlantic Ocean in the west to the Ural Mountains in the east. Okay? Please underline. The Great European Plain has northern mountains, okay? And it extends from where to where? In the west, it
Ma'am,
extends
from the Atlantic Ocean
in the west
to
to the Ural Mountains
in the east.
So the stretch of the mountain is given, okay? From the Atlantic Ocean in the west to the Ural Mountain in the east. This is the stretch, the extent. They form a rough triangle with a narrow apex in west and broad base to the east in Russia. So what is more peculiar about these mountains, children? What do? They form a
rough triangle with a
triangle.
narrow apex in the
yes.
west.
And how is this triangle formed? Who will tell me? How is this triangle formed? Where is the what happens? How is the tarot towards the top and towards the base? What it is having?
It has a narrow apex in the west
And the
and the broad base
to the east in
Russia.
Russia. Okay. Now these plains are not absolutely flat. So they are not flat. Okay. They are what? They are slightly gentle, rolling land in the scattered hills. Okay. Most of the plains have been covered by deposits of sand. Please underline. Okay. So this plain has what all the deposits? What are the deposits of these?
Sand, clay, fertile aluminium.
Fertile alluvium, which is made by whom?
Glaciers.
Glaciers. All right. Next is several important rivers. Which important rivers do we have in this particular plain?
Rhine, Vistula,
Elbe and
Oder flow.
Oder flow. Okay, across the Great Plains, and because of these rivers, what has happened? The land has become fertile. If there is water, if there is fertile land, automatically what will happen?
high
Population will also increase.
Population in that area. Okay, so therefore these regions, okay, are usually highly populated region. Okay, the areas. Have you all understood till your children?
Yes,
Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's go on to the third physical type. So we had seen two physical types. What was the first one?
the northern highlands and
the Great European
And the Great European Plain.
And the Great European Plains. Okay. Now the third is the central uplands and the southern plateaus. Okay, plateaus. Okay. Now the central uplands. Now we'll see the stretch of the central uplands. It stretches from the west to the east. Okay. So if it is stretching from the west to the east, automatically it is covering the central part also. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Automatically the central part also gets covered. Okay. Including the central part of Europe also. Okay. Including Western France. Now, when it is stretching, which countries does it cross? Okay. First, Western France and Belgium, Southern Germany, Czech Republic, and parts of Switzerland and Austria. Okay, so this particular central upland, it stretches from west to the east. And what is the list of countries it is covering?
Western France.
Belgium, Southern Germany, the Czech Republic, and parts of Northern Switzerland and Austria.
Right. Clear? Have you all understood till here?
yes,
Okay. Next, They are generally lower than the alpine region, not more than 1800 meters above sea level, with dense forest and are composed of old rocks. So we can just imagine, how this particular region would look like. So it has what? This particular region has is
Dense
lower.
forest and
Yes,
Dense
it is
forest.
dense.
composed of old rocks.
Composed of what?
Ma'am, it also has Ural Mountains, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, please underline this particular region has dense forest and old rocks. Okay. Now, the central uplands include number 1, plateau of Spain. Number 2,
The massive
the
central
massive central. Number 3,
Vosges.
in France, Vosges in France. And number 4,
The Bohemian Plateau in the
Czech Republic. And
Czech.
number 5,
Black Forest in Germany.
Black Forest
and
in
number
Germany.
6,
Ma'am, and Ardennes in Belgium.
Ardennes in
Belgium.
Belgium.
Ma'am,
Okay.
that's a lot to remember. ma'am.
Please underline. There's a lot. See, this particular chapter has lots of objective type questions which you need to remember. Okay. This particular plan includes almost so many regions. All right. The Ural Mountains, as Mariam has said, it is your Mariam. Say what you were saying. The Ural Mountains are also the part of the system. This region is not very thickly populated. Underline this. So why do you think it won't be populated?
Ma'am, because there are many dense forests, ma'am, and dense forests have wild animals in it, ma'am.
Yes. So that is the reason it is not populated. First reason, it is dense forest, and secondly, it has lots of rocks. It is not a plain region. All right, where people could.
So, ma'am, it will be difficult to adapt over there.
Yes.
And ma'am, people could not even farm over there.
Right. So for the population to grow, you need the water accessibility, you need fertile soil. Automatically, that particular region, you will have lots of population developing. All right. Now, except the valleys of Rhine, Rhone, Elbe, and Danube river valleys. Okay, so they have listed few names. Why these valleys are having population?
And because these are valleys, ma'am, which have rivers, ma'am.
Right. Okay. So this particular region, they are saying it's not populated except these few places where few population is there. Okay. Hardly some population is there. Have you all understood till here, children?
Yes.
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. I'll do one thing. Okay. Fine. Next is.
And the period is over, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. The period is over
Okay.
and we have
We'll
extended
stop
one.
here. We'll stop here for today and we'll continue.